Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Budget Deck Tech, the series where I take a starter deck and see how I can improve it by spending just $10 on it. In today's episode, we will be looking at the Vampiric Hunger starter deck. I have 4 pretty basic rules here. Firstly, I've got 10 Canadian dollars that I can spend on cards that I'm adding to the deck. I'll be using Canadian prices as of November 1st, 2016. Secondly, I've got to end with a standard legal 40 card deck. Third, I'm only going to be adding cards from the current expansion, which is Curse of the Frozen Casket. And lastly is Kiss, keep it simple. My goal here is not to completely rebuild the deck. I want to keep the same theme, the same feel to it. I just want to try to make it better. This list will show all of the cards that come in the deck when you purchase it. So it's a pretty powerful deck to start out with. It consists of a lot of Vampire, Oni, and Fairy Tale Resonators, along with some pretty powerful chants. But we're going to start off with a clean slate and work our way up to 40 cards here. For our ruler, we're going to be using Ally of the Black Moon. On his ruler side, for 1 darkness, he can deal 100 damage to target Resonator. And then on his flip side, his J-ruler side, he is a 9/9 flying vampire. So I'm going for a nice mix of Resonators and chants in this deck. So for the most part, the Resonators are going to be dealing damage to either your opponent or your opponent's Resonators, and your chants are either going to remove your opponent's Resonators or else buff your own Resonators. And the first card that we're going to add is Shara. So for 1 darkness, she's a 5/5 Resonator. And we're not going to use her so much for attacking, but mostly for her ability, where she can deal 200 damage to a Resonator, and then by doing that she puts a 2/2 counter on herself. So the deck currently comes with 4 of her, and we're going to bring all 4 over to our new deck. And the next card we're adding is Power Absorption. This is a quick cast for 2 that deals 600 damage to target Resonator. So our new deck is not going to have a ton of vampires in it, but it's worth noting that Power Absorption will deal more damage if you have vampires out. Additionally, it'll put a 1/1 counter on each of your vampires you do have out. The deck comes with 4 of these in it, and we're going to bring all 4 over to our new deck. The first card that we're going to buy is a Rashmataro. This is a 5/7 Resonator, and when it enters the field, you get to destroy any Resonator that was damaged already. So the whole point is to use either your Ruler, or Shara, or worst case scenario Power Absorption to damage one of your opponent's Resonators, then cast this card and destroy one of your opponent's Resonators. So these cards go for 25 cents a piece. We're going to add 4 to the deck. Next up, we've got Oni Strike. It's a quick cast that costs 3, and it'll let you destroy target Resonator. Additionally, if you control any Oni, you'll get to deal 500 damage directly to your opponent. So the deck comes with 4 of them, and we're going to bring all 4 over to our new deck. And then obviously we're going to want to add some Oni to our deck, so that Oni Strike will deal its 400 damage to your opponent. So first we're going to start out with Mad Oni. This is a 1-cost 5/3 Resonator, and it's relatively cheap at 15 cents a piece, but we're going to buy 4 and add them to the deck. We're also going to be adding the Drunken Oni. He's going to be one of the bigger hitters in our deck at 13/13. Additionally, when you add him to your field, you get to search your deck for a card named the Castle of Oni and put it in your hand. So we're adding all 4 of these guys back into the new deck. And then because our entire deck is made up of Darkness Resonators, it makes perfect sense to add the Castle of Oni to the deck. So this card will give all of your Resonators +2/+2, and we're going to bring all 4 over from the old deck to the new deck. Creature from Chaos is another pretty interesting card that I wanted to add to the deck. So this is a 2/2 Resonator, costs 1 to cast, and anything that it deals damage to it kills. They're going for pretty cheap at 25 cents a piece, so we're going to add 4 to the deck. Alright, time for the big guns now. So we've got Azathoth. He is a 20/20 Resonator. He costs 8 to cast, and there are definitely some downsides to having him in the field. He's definitely risky, but at the same time, he can totally change the game. He has a hefty price point of $1.50, but we're going to add 2 of them to our deck. This next card we're going to add is going to be just a bit of a safety valve. It's Eternal Recurrence. It's a chant that's going to destroy all Resonators. It's a card you're going to want to just keep in your hand and have it just in case you're ever overwhelmed, just in case the field is totally flooded with your opponent's Resonators. You want to play it and just clear the field. So this card costs 50 cents a piece, and we're going to add 2 of them to the deck. And then obviously we're going to want to add some Oni to our deck, so that Oni Strike will deal its 400 damage to your opponent. So first we're going to start out with Mad Oni. This is a 1-cost 5/3 Resonator, and is relatively cheap at 15 cents a piece, but we're going to buy 4 and add them to the deck. And that is our deck, guys. So we ended up replacing 16 cards. We only spent $6.60 there, but overall I think we have just a more aggressive deck here. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and we'll see you around next time.